Good evening, everybody out there in Chester County and on my Facebook page. You know, coming to you straight live on City Town Talk is none other than me, Brother Fonz, man. And I am so doggone glad to be here with you guys, Susie. Hey, look, I got another brother, man, right here who is doing major stuff. But look, I can't give it all to you right now because there's certain things that you know we got to do. First of all, if y'all tuning in, hit that share button and send that video on back to me because while we're doing this, we want you to give him some shout outs. If you got some questions or anything, we want you to post it and we will answer you in real time as opposed to fake time. So I am really, man, damn, Justin did it already, man. That's why I love you, man. And you know what? And this gentleman, I haven't seen him in 100 years, but me and him go back like car seats. I'm telling you. So look. Okay, we're there. I'm doing my big boy, and we're there. And we're going to do some announcements and all that kind of good stuff. Oh man, yeah, we're good. We're good. Boom, bow, man. First of all, I want to say good evening, everybody, man. And I'm glad y'all tuning in tonight. It is always a plum pleasing pleasure. I just love y'all, and I'm just Tip Curry is watching. Hey, Tip, and it's always just a blessing to have some of these people on this show. I'm telling you, I haven't had a dud yet. Boy, God be sending me some dynamite people. I don't know how I got so lucky, or should I say so blessed. But anyway, I'm not going to look and give horse in the mouth. I'm just going to be grateful and be thankful. But look, wait a minute. Before we go, I want to tell you about some things that's happened. The Phillips family down there, Amisha Phillips and David Phillips Jr., this is their 6th year. They will be down at City Gate cooking dinner for whoever comes by. They will be serving meals down there on 7th Avenue, and it starts at 2 p.m. So don't be cute getting down there at 4 and 5 and be wondering why there's no food left. Last year, they was giving out sneakers, shoes, man, I almost got a pair of sneakers, my doggone self. They be doing big things down there, and they have volunteers down there helping. It's always a beautiful thing. So that's tomorrow. Don't forget, also tomorrow at the CYWA, they have food distribution. That's 12:32. Nobody has any reason to be hungry. It's Thanksgiving because we're just giving out food. We gave out 250 turkeys just, 4 or 5 days ago. That was a great event too, man, I'm telling you. So don't forget, tomorrow, be there or be square. Upcoming guests, we got William Pierce, who's the executive director of the Senior Center. He's got some announcements he want to make. Ebony Roberts from Joe Black Media is going to be on my show. Aaliyah Hogarth. And Caprice Love, the creator of Muff Stuff. I'm telling you, we're hitting everybody. We're hitting them high and we're hitting them low. So now, if you have people of interest in the community, now I want y'all to understand the words that's coming out of my mouth, like they say on Rush Hour. If you are a person of interest, if you know somebody of interest, if you know of an organization that needs to be front and center on my show, please inbox me because this is about y'all. This ain't about me. I'm good. But this is about showcasing y'all. So stop playing. I know y'all tired of seeing me. I'm tired of seeing me. But that's besides the point. Tonight, man, I got a gentleman named Justin Brown, JB. Not James Brown, but Justin Brown. And I want Justin, we're gonna read a little bit about Justin, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna give him a little bit because his whole hookup. We're gonna do a Q&A and we're gonna let him do what he do because he's a showman and we're gonna talk about it. I dig him because he's got that confidence and that swag. Justin Brown is a well-known author, speaker, and diversity instructor in the field of higher education. He is also the CEO of Diversity Awareness Program. He currently works in student affairs at Westchester University in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And before I go any further, we're gonna say some highs and hellos. Hey, Sissy DeShields, you know this guy's face. That's right. This is Pastor Anthony Brown's son. This baby Brown. That's Sissy DeShields. Anthony, it's good to see you. Adam Cerrucci, straight, used to be in the senator's office. Adam, it's good to see you this evening. I'm gonna say a pre-happy Thanksgiving in case I don't see y'all because I won't be running my mouth tomorrow. But Justin Brown, he's got a story. I want y'all to know who he is. I want you to know something about his journey, what he do, and I'm just going to just let him say, speak to your viewers out there, Justin. Say hi and hello.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
How's everybody doing? Well, like Foz said, my name is Justin Brown. I've been doing diversity training work for the past 12 years. I actually own diversity awareness program. Um, been traveling all over the world with it. Yeah, you gotta lean to the side when they want to see the stuff behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've been doing that consulting work for about 12 years. I mean, I've been all over the country. I have done actually over 600 universities and colleges doing this training. I've spoken at about 40 national conferences, as well as participating in different consulting. So I've had different school districts call me in to do consulting to try to help districts and schools, universities, and institutions of learning be more inclusive. During that 12 years, I wrote a book.
All right, don't give him too much.
Oh, okay.
Get him too
We'll
much.
get to it. We'll give it to it.
We're gonna give him the appetizer first. We'll give him the main entree in a couple minutes. But look, let's find out about you.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, where are you originally from?
I'm from Coatesville, born and raised.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Red Raider.
So tell us, how old are you? Are you married? Do you have children? Tell us a little bit about your family.
I'm 31. I am married, married to my beautiful wife, Nicole Brown, and we have a 5-year-old daughter. Her name is August.
Oh, not September, but August.
No, the book is based on her life, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, the book is based on her. So that's my family right there. That's them. You know, the book series is based on her and her adventures as trying to get
I like that. Man, put that back up there one more time. You flashed that too quick. Can you do that?
Yeah, I could throw that back up.
Throw that back up for a second.
That's my wife Nicole right here, and that's my daughter August on the bottom.
Oh, that is so nice.
And the children's book series is actually based on her adventures of things that she was doing and going through, you know, as she's getting older. So
okay, good. And we're going to talk about that as well. Okay. All right, now here's my question.
Yeah.
How was it being the son of a pastor and a choir director?
It was interesting. You know, a lot of people have these great testimonial stories about how they found Christ. You know, they're like, oh, this is what was happening, and I found Christ, and I just always felt like I had him. But I don't think there was an instrumental story about it. You know, I knew that during church I wasn't gonna be able to sleep. So you better serve so you don't sleep. But no, I just think it really shaped how I viewed things in the world. Being able to have that community feel, knowing the difference between going to church and playing church, and having that real authentic relationship with Jesus Christ. I mean, I think all of those things played a part in how I created this company, because, you know, when you think about it, doing diversity training and being inclusive and teaching people how to get along, that's a ministry. Being able to bring everybody from different walks together and teach them how to coexist. I mean, that definitely is how Christ wants us to be. So.
Okay, I like that. Okay, now, what school did you go to?
I went to Cash.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's right. They be talking about Cash. We turning out some good people.
Yeah, listen, they can't say nothing good came from Coatesville. That's not true.
Wow. That's so good. All right, now let me ask you. Now, I've read your bio.
Okay.
You've done so much stuff, almost made my head hurt. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing. I'm like, boom. But let me ask you, when you were in high school, did you know what you wanted to do with your life?
I didn't. And that's very common for a lot of people. You kind of walk into your destiny, not necessarily choose. For those who get to choose, that's the beauty of it. But for a lot of people, you kind of discover yourself as you go through life and start to pick up some things and skills and habits, and you eventually walk into your purpose.
Oh man, that's good. This is good stuff. I think I might be able to sell this video when it's over. I'm hearing some nuggets here. All right, so what was your like main interest when you were in high school? Did you have any?
Yeah, I wanted to be a counselor, but then there's a lot of work that comes with being a counselor, be a therapist or psychologist. You got to go to school for about 12 years if you really want to have your own practice. And, that was just a lot. When I thought about the core component of why I wanted to go to school, the reason why I wanted to go to school to be a psychologist, because I wanted to help people. And you don't need a degree to help people, even those who are in the community. You don't need a degree to help people. All right. Our job and individuals that are in higher learning is to be able to look around the table and see who's not there and open those doors for other people.
Oh man. Woo! Oh man, we almost shut this down, right? But hey, wait a minute. Roberta Steyer. It is good to see you, Roberta. Say hi to your buddy. We all remember you, right?
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and it really, really wasn't. Okay, so check this out.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the journey, because you said sometimes you have to step into what it is and your purpose and stuff like that. I'm in
Yeah.
total agreement. So let's kind of like take us on that journey from where you came out of high school and when the light bulb went on and all these
Right.
other kind of things.
Right. So it is a straight to the point story. So I got a full scholarship to a university called Slippery Rock University. That is a real school. I didn't make that up. Slippery Rock does exist. Um, And when I got out there, I quickly discovered that this is a PWI, predominantly white institution, and I was the only chocolate milk in the variety of grocery stores of milk. So I was only the only chocolate chip in the vanilla ice cream. And what I was discovering was that I was experiencing a lot of microaggressions. I was experiencing a lot of racial discrimination, and just that individuals did not have experiences with people of color, especially Black folk, and that I was being the spokesperson for all of these experiences. So what I did was I was like, you know what? Yeah, this isn't really working for me. We got to figure out another way that people can have some authentic dialogue without it being controversial. So what I did was I made up this program called Building Bridges, which is essentially a diversity program. And what I did was I brought a whole bunch of different people together, and we would do just what I'm doing now. We would bring people into rooms, and we would have conversations about stereotypes, microaggressions, discrimination, things being this or that, talking about institutional racism, talking about white privilege, talking about, but what we did was we didn't do it in such a controversial way. We did it by allowing people to go through games, activities, team builders, icebreakers. We allow people to go through role plays. We were just allowing people to have fun, but most importantly, to be able to tell their story, because that's really important that students, staff, faculty, when people are brought into a room together, they need to be able to tell who they are and to be able to share their authentic self. And that's what my job is as a facilitator, is to allow people to show who they truly are, to be able to be vulnerable in a way where people are able to show you who their true form is. And we got to allow people to have that space. There's no such thing as a safe space. I know people are like, oh, we got to have all these safe spaces. We can't guarantee that spaces will be safe, but what we can guarantee is that these can be brave spaces, that you can use your courage and be able to be vulnerable. And if you show me a little piece of you, I'm gonna show you a little piece of me. And
Oh,
that's
I
where this
love it.
came.
I love
That's
it.
where
I
this
love it.
came from.
Okay, let me get some shout outs, and then there's something I want to say to you.
Okay.
Sister Kim Greer Brown said, good word, Justin. Sister Ava is tuning in from Phoenix, Arizona. Sister Ava, it is good to see you. And that was a good song you sang Sunday, Long Distance. Lori Liz, top of the evening to you. And while I have you on here, I want you off screen. I want to talk to you because we're doing something called the Coatesville's Black Media Renaissance. I want you to be on the planning committee, and no, I don't care how busy you are, but because of what you're saying and what this is, and it's being funded by the Brandywine Health Foundation. So it's something major. I want to talk to you about that because it's based on what you're talking about. And I'm going to send you the email so you can read the whole format and see if you would like to be part of that planning committee. But now back to Nelson Ojeda said, hey, Fonz, don't hey, Fonz, me say, hey, Justin, he's the man of the hour. Lori Liz said, brave space, she loves it. That is so good. Okay.
Yep.
So we was on a short journey. Let me see if I got a question to tie you in. Okay, bam, 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 bam. Let me ask you a question. You said it says you worked in student affairs at Westchester.
Yes.
What does that entail?
So I particularly work in residence life, but it's in a broad division of student affairs. So what essentially student affairs is we find that students are developing outside of the classroom. So yeah, there's learning that takes place inside, but there's also development that takes place outside. So that's helping students with picking classes, where they're living, how they're getting involved with their careers, what activities they're involved in, women's centers to help students who are trying to figure out their gender identity. I mean, there's a whole nest egg of different things that happen with students outside of the classroom. And that's what our job is, to be able to help students navigate that terrain as they're trying to figure out who they are.
All right, now there's that program.
Yeah.
Okay. So what need did you see that motivated you to want to start this program?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a need, and it's everywhere. So DAP is not affiliated with any particular university. This training and consulting can be hosted anywhere. So I've done businesses, Fortune 500 companies like Lockheed Martin. I've had conversations with Macy's. I actually had my first professional sports team that I did diversity training for. It was right after George Floyd. The Minnesota Twins. I did diversity training for their organization a couple months ago. That was really cool. But what I see is that there's a lack of communication. There's a lack of empathy, and there's a lack of being able to take your index finger and point to yourself and say, hey, I might have got this wrong, or I might not have been able to have this the right way. And I think that individuals never take an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm part of the problem. None of us are perfect. From the trainer to the trainee, we all see things very different. All right. It's about perspective. So if you give me 30 seconds, I could show you that our perspectives are different. Can I show you that? Okay. I want to do this quick little activity with you, Fonz. I want you to read this, what you see right now on the screen for me. Just read it for me. And if you're at home and you're watching this, I want you to read it along with Fonz. All right. So 3, 2, 1, go ahead and read that.
Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of years.
You're correct. Now we want to take into account everybody's learning style. So if you're someone who needs to read it again for retention, or if you're someone who's like, well, I didn't read it the same way Fonz is, I want you to read it one more time. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go.
Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of years.
All right. So for the people who are watching this right now, again, this is a perspective activity. If you don't learn anything else for what I do, it's about bringing everyone's perspectives together, because I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I don't need you to share the question with anybody. I just need you to give me your answer. All right. So if you're watching on Facebook, type your answer into the chat, and Fonz, you can give your answer. But my question is simple. How many F's do you see in this sentence? Keep it to yourself, Fonz. Don't say it yet. How many F's do you see in this sentence? So for the people who are watching, you can post your answers in the chat. I just want to know how many F's you see. So what are the numbers looking like, Fonz? What are people saying? How many F's do they see?
Man, they won't do right because they haven't typed in anything. Okay, viewers, how many F's do y'all see on here? Type it in and stop playing. Daria Turner.
There's no wrong answer. I just want to see how many F's did you see in the sentence.
We're grading you on a curve, so let's do it. Okay, right. Lori Liz says 6.
Okay.
Your mom said 5, so that better be right.
How many you see, Fonz?
Man, I only see 3. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Okay, you see 3. Okay. So I see Nelson says 2. I see Bernadette says 3. You know, and it's interesting that we're all saying different numbers, even though we see the same thing, we're experiencing the same thing, and we're reading the same thing. Because if I told you the answer was 6, give it up for the 6s. Y'all give it up for the 6s. The 6s are correct. Man. All right, I'm gonna show you where it's at though. Here we go. 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F, 5F, and I just missed an F. There's 3 F's and here's the other F. All right, so finish files. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, there's 6 F's in total. Now you're telling me that we all went through the same activity, but we all had a different experience. And that's the same thing it is with diversity, multiculturalism, and cultural awareness. All of us are having different experiences, but we need to bring all of our experience to the table, because I might only be able to see one piece of this puzzle. So what I was seeing, there was a need that people were only seeing certain sides of the puzzle. So when I see situations where someone's talking to me about the police and they're like, well, you know, if people of color would just follow the police, they wouldn't have these situations. I'm like, well, that might be true in your experience, but let me give you another side of this puzzle. That's the job of individuals who are doing diversity work, is to be able to bring everybody's perspectives into the room. Because if we're relying on one person, let's say we were just relying on you, Fonz, like you were supposed to lead us to the promised land, and you said it was 3.
We'd all be jacked up.
We might not have gotten there. So
we wouldn't have.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a seat at the table, most likely you're on the menu. And that's our job, is to make sure that everybody has a space and that everybody has an area of which they can look in and lean into to be able to bring their perspective. So when we talk about diversity, diversity is who is in the room, what perspectives are we missing? When we talk about equity, it is who is trying to get into the room but can't, and does everybody have what they need to be in the room? And then lastly, when we talk about inclusion, is has everyone's ideas been heard, and who are we impacting? And those are the questions we have to ask when we're doing this work.
Wait a minute. Your chief cheerleader talking about, come on, son, come on, Kim, calm down over there. But he is putting this thing down. Taylor Pulliam, top of the evening to you. It is so good to see you, Bernadette Brunner. Hey, now let me see. So how long has this your program been in existence?
12 years.
12 years. I almost can remember when you first started doing this.
Yeah, a long time ago. 2008 is
Yeah.
when we started. A long
Hey
time
man, but
ago.
that picture though, man, we should have that picture on Throwback Thursday, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Cool in the Gang or Kid and
yeah.
Play or somebody, right? All right, all right. Now, is this now? Have you've had this program here in Westchester and Coatesville? Have you put it or instituted it in any other schools or anybody else
Yeah,
following this training?
yeah. I've so again, I've done over 600 schools. I mean, most recently, I did some work for the Avon Grove School District. That was really, really fun. Our students really got to engage in some fun activities with them, um, and that's just local. I mean, we're doing work all over the county, but I think most importantly is the work that we're doing with students. So it doesn't matter what age they are. So here is K through 12 at Avon Grove, and I did some work with them. But we do work with faculty, staff, teachers, professors, at the university level as well. Um, so it's for anybody, organizations. We've done diversity training for churches because people don't want to talk about that there may be racism in the church or that there's discrimination that takes place in the house of God, but that happens too. We need to be able to talk all of these things through. So it's just about getting people together and really just taking the time to listen. As a facilitator, you got to do both. You got to be able to facilitate conversation, inspire the people to talk that don't normally have a voice, and also be able to take perspectives that aren't yours and put them into play.
Well, now let me ask you: are you the only? I mean, do you have a group of people that do facilitate, or is it just you? How does that work?
I think that's going to lead into another question, but of which is the reason why I wrote the book, because I couldn't be in two places at one time. There are a few times that I have some friends. I have a lot of friends that are doing this work, doing the great work, and I've shoulder tapped those individuals to help me at times. But I would say 99% of the time it is me, and I was getting pulled too thin. All right, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't be in two places at one time. And I guess that's where this book came from. So if I can't be in two places at one time, I need you to read the text, and y'all are gonna have to do your own work on your own.
Hmm. Hey, Denise Foltz Bookman has checked in. Denise, it's good to see you. And Taylor, I think I already said hi to you, so I'm just wave. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
wait. Yes, Denise, this is awesome. Let me tell you something. I be having some heavy people on here, man. People be lunching on City Town Talk. You ain't gotta look at Oprah and Ellen or Helen or whoever them people is. I'm telling you, you just come on here, man. I got some of the best people on here. They real bigly. Now let me see. Now, where has this program taken you? I mean, all over the country or
yeah, all over the country. There's only a few states that I haven't been to at this point. I would say the largest crowd, and I wish I was prepared for that picture. I might be able to find it here in a second.
yeah,
The largest crowd I've ever spoken to was in Atlanta. I had 3,000 people in that space.
what?
Yeah, it was at a national conference, and I'm not even gonna front and act like I wasn't scared because I didn't know that the room was that big. It's kind of like if you think about the Pennsylvania Convention Center,
Yes.
that's the type of space that I was in for that conference. But I've been to California, I've been to Florida, ATL, I've been to the states I never thought I'd be in, like Iowa, Missouri. Yeah, I've been a lot of places, done a lot of things.
So okay, so let me ask you now. This is for people that are listening because there are
Yeah,
a lot of people who aspire to do things. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they always need encouragement, me included. Um, how did you take it from the thought stage to where it blew up like this? What did you have to do along the way? I mean, tell us about some of the ups and downs and some of the things that really got you to where you are right now.
Yeah. Well, first thing is that everybody has God-given gifts. That's number one. And you have to be able to work in the gift that God has given you. And you got to figure out what that is. And everybody has one. All right. So you got to figure out what that is, number one. Number two, here's that picture, Fonz. I said I was looking for it. I found it. That was the,
Good, good, good.
oh,
Ooh,
yeah, a lot of people in that space.
oh wow,
Um, but you got to
nice.
work in your God-given gift. Second off, and this is more of a business thing than anything, anytime that you make something that is yours, you have to copyright that. You can't let people take your intellectual property. So if you have made something that you know is unique, go get that thing branded, go get that thing trademarked, go get that thing. DAP is a company, it's an LLC. You have to make sure that it's yours, because if it's not yours, that means you don't own it, and that means that other people can take it, and that's not something that you want to do. But of course, I've had ups and downs. I mean, when you're talking about diversity, you're talking about everybody. So you're talking about people of color, you're talking about people with abilities and disabilities, you're talking about the LGBTQA community, you're talking about people who are religious, people that aren't religious. You have to be able to know about other groups of people that you yourself might not be affiliated with. Because I identify as a straight Black male, but how am I going to be able to be a voice for those individuals who may not identify as that? Which means that you're going to have to step up your game and be able to know things about other people, and that there are times that you should not be the loudest voice. I can't be the loudest voice for another group, but I can facilitate a space where those people's voices can be heard.
Wow. I need you, man. You play too much. But all right, good. All right. So what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? I think that the work isn't done. I would say the work isn't done. The other thing that I think that keeps me motivated is to see how people are learning. Because I think sometimes when people come into these spaces, they're like, oh, this is going to be an angry Black man that's going to yell at me about how I am a privileged white guy and I don't know anything. And that's not how I do my trainings. It doesn't come from a shame-based paradigm, because there are some people that I do talk to, especially in the last 8 months. I mean, when Obama was elected, we were having some diversity talks. So it was happening, but not at this great rate. Donald Trump was elected, then diversity training really just flew off the shelf. I was getting called all the time for everything that was happening. And then in the last 8 months, with civil unrest throughout the country, when we talk about Ahmaud Arbery, when we talk about Breonna Taylor, when we talk about George Floyd, those conversations were really happening, like almost on multiple times a day. So when I say the work isn't done, we have to look at this picture. So I love this picture, the equity and equality picture, because I think it best tells the tale. So there are people that do not have access to the information, and then there's people that do have access to the information. This guy in the blue didn't do anything so that he could have access. It just was able to come about, But in this picture, everybody's equal, so we think. All right. I think the picture isn't done yet. I think we're missing another slide, and I think that's what keeps me motivated, Fonz. There's another slide here. The slide that we're missing, I like to call liberation. And the liberation is when the fences are taken down, and that and when there's no fence. Because that's great that they were all able to see at the end, but look at how the system was made up. We can't rely on a system that wasn't made to protect us to work out. So when I talk to people and they say, well, do you think the system failed Breonna Taylor? I say, no, it did. No, it didn't. And everybody says, oh, how could you say that? I said, the system worked exactly how it was supposed to work. And if we can't humanely look at a situation and say that a life was lost, regardless of what the color is, in this particular instance, it is a Black woman that was shot and killed, and she didn't do anything. And we can't say, well, we're just going to charge the people for the bullets that were missing. We gotta be able to look at what actually took place here. And I think the system worked exactly how it was, and a system that wasn't made for you can't help you.
Yeah.
So we gotta really look at it for what it is, and we gotta have those strong conversations.
Man, I gotta give some shout outs to some special people that just joined us. Kendra Wilson from Prosper Bank. I gave her second job when she was growing up. Kendra, I appreciate you. I appreciated you last week, what you guys did for the turkey giveaway. And I got my main man, Cass Rowland, who is the creator of Big Boy's barbecue sauce. His sauce is in about 70, 75 stores. So I would appreciate it, Justin, the next time you go to the Giant or wherever you go and you get barbecue sauce, leave Baby Ray's alone.
Okay.
And go to Big Boy's barbecue sauce. I got it all in my crib. It's just good.
Yeah.
Brenda Hicks, how are you, Brenda? It's good to see you this evening. Your mother giving you 4 or 5 hand claps. Kendra Wilson said, Justin, that was good. Hey, Kendra, look, man, there be some dynamic people on this show. God knew to put me right where he got me, I'm telling you. Presenting people such as him to our community. Okay, let's talk about that book right there.
Yeah, the book.
Hey, the book. Let's talk about Not Another Diversity Book. What made you write this book? Come on.
I wrote the book in 2016, right before the election. So when you read it, it's the preface is actually a prediction of what the next 4 years will look like. So I made a fake prediction of what I thought the next 4 years were going to look like, and that's what it looked like.
Did it?
So yeah, so you have to read the preface. But I wrote the book because there was a lot going on in the country, and I couldn't get all of my. Usually the trainings are about 2 to 3 hours, but I couldn't get everything out. And again, I couldn't be in two places at one time. So I wrote this book, and I wrote the workbook. So there's a curriculum that goes along with it. So if you wanted to actually teach this book, you could. This book is actually being used at my alma mater, which I'm very proud of. So shout out to Slippery Rock, but it's actually a class. You could teach, you could go to Slippery Rock and take my class. It's being taught by Jason T. Hilton, but that's the syllabi for the class. So what will you learn in the class? What would be graded? There's only one book that's used for the class, and that is it. Not another diversity book, but you can go take Justin Brown the class, and you'll go through the entire book in the syllabi. So you can do that, but the curriculum itself is available for you to teach and be able to do some self-reflection, because that's diversity, right? We got to be able to look at ourselves and say, I'm not perfect, and look at ourselves and say, yeah, I discriminate against people sometimes. Yeah, I'm biased. Yeah, I got some biases. We all have them.
Yeah, sure. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in like Jay Duke and Marcus Chill Miller, right now we have Mr. Justin Brown, ladies and gentlemen. He's originally from Coatesville, and he's doing some major stuff. If you haven't caught the beginning of this show, man, well, you know I'm gonna play it over and over, and I'm gonna put it on everybody's group. You gotta listen to what he's saying. The words is coming out of his mouth. We can do a rush hour on that, man, because this is fantastic stuff. I'm telling you, you have to pay them some places to hear this stuff. Now, when you wrote this book, did you have a target audience, or was just whoever come, bam?
I wanted to write it in such a way that it didn't matter where you were in your development of understanding this topic, that you could pick it up. Because what we find is that when you have these conversations about cultural awareness or diversity or inclusion, there are some people that this is new to them. This is the first time people have ever talked to them about it. And then there are some seasoned individuals that are like, I've been doing this work for a long time. So I wanted to write it so that both core groups could be brought together. It includes my games, my activities, my food for thought, how to do some self-reflection and think about where you've come from, how you're going to develop and make next steps, because we all got places we got to work on. We all got things that we need to improve on, again, from the trainer to the trainee. So there is no particular audience, but there is a chapter where I write to individuals that are in education, because there is a very famous quote that I hate, and people are like, what? You can't hate that. I hate "be the change you want to see." I hate that. And I hate it because I'm a very aggressive driver. When you get to a four-way and sometimes you and the other person playing chicken, you're like, no, you go, no, you go. I'm the person that lets people go. Now, when you let people go, they're supposed to wave you off and say thank you. When people don't wave me off, I'm like, well, you know what was that about? Me being nice didn't change what someone else did. All right. So I like to reformat things. I like to reimagine things. So instead of the quote being "be the change you want to see," I thoroughly and wholeheartedly believe in teaching the change that you want to see. It has to be taught, just like racism, discrimination, inequality is taught, how the system is taught. We have to teach inclusivity. We got to teach equity and equality. We got to teach being able to be culturally aware, and that maybe the way you grew up was not the way that everybody else grew up. The town that you grew up, the school district you were in, your experiences, they're different from everybody in the entire world. You got to bring that one piece to the puzzle.
Good stuff. Hey, how long did it take to write this book?
It took me about 11 months, maybe 2 hours a day.
So what do you do? So when you write a book, what do you sit down and you type, you dictate, or what is it you do?
Well, honestly, so what I started with was the titles. I wanted to know what I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to talk about the inequality when it comes to women. And I know that people are like, well, what kind of message is that? Well, women are working the same jobs as men and they're not getting paid the same amount. In fact, they have this thing called the pink tax, and women go out and they buy the same products we're buying as men, and they're costing on average $1.25 more. So I was like, I want to talk about gender inequality. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. I want to talk about stereotypes. I want to talk about things being split. So what I did was I wrote all of my chapters out first, what the chapter titles were going to be. And then once I had the chapter titles, I went and did my research and gathered everything that I've learned in my 12 years of doing the work, and my experiences. A lot of it is based upon me and my life experiences, and I wrote the chapters out that way.
That's good. That's good. That's some food for thought right there. Shirley A. Williams, it is good to see you, and you are Miss Shirley. Okay, tell us a little bit about the September Rose series.
Yes. So, as if you were watching from the beginning, my wife and I have a 5-year-old daughter. Her name is August, and when we were reading her books, this is my page actually on Amazon. So if you ever want to go check out some of the books, they're all on here. That's Sinbad, the comedian. He actually just went through a stroke recently, so be praying for him that he gets well. But when we were reading books to my daughter, we didn't see a lot of books that looked like her. And that was problematic for us as parents because she was asking questions about her hair and about her skin. And we wanted to make sure that we had the right answers. So I thoroughly believe if you don't see doors that are there, you build the doors, you walk through your own doors. So what we did was we started making books for our daughter and then reading our books to her so that she could see herself in readings, because that's really important.
That is so nice. So
Yeah.
now, how long has this series been out?
This series has been out for about 2 years, and I co-authored these books with my wife. I'm trying to find some of the pictures so you can actually see them up close. And I co-wrote this book. She said she wanted to be a children's author. I said, hey, I think that that's great. We should work together on this, and she was all for it. So we worked together on this, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, I did have the opportunity to go to Amazon and see your book, but I didn't pay no attention. I want to go to see the children's books because we have some great people that read books to the kids on Facebook. We have some dynamic
Yeah.
readers, and they always read books of kids of color. So I gotta let them know about this series. Johnette Marcus, if you're on here, and I want you to look this up because this looks like it's slamming.
Yeah.
Cameron Dixon Jr., good to see you.
The artist, I think, really captured. I mean, I can pull up another picture of my daughter, but I think the artist really captured her. Her hair, I always say that the best part about the book was my daughter's eyes. I think she really, really caught them. I think she got the hair correct, and that's when I look at this picture, I'm like, yeah, that's my daughter in this particular.
Oh man!
Now,
are these books thick or are they small? How does it work?
They're big books. We wanted to make sure that the dimensions of the books were big so that if it was being read at a story time, they could see the pictures. So they're actually big books, but they're not long books.
Okay.
Not long, but big enough so that people can see. Now, what was happening was, if we're going into the next part of this, is that there were entities, so like schools and elementary schools that were like, hey, we see that you're a diversity teacher, but do you know how to teach diversity to children? And I had some experience, but not a lot. So that's where this book came in, where September Rose learns about being kind. All right, learn how to be kind. So there's a book and an activity book. So if teachers are watching, you can actually Xerox and photocopy the pages so you can teach it in class. But this is a diversity book. So this is where September Rose is going through and she's meeting different people from different backgrounds. I think the first person she meets is a Hindu child, and she's wearing a hijab, and she's asking questions about that. She meets a young man who has a disability, but he's still playing sports. I mean, she's meeting a whole bunch of different people, and that's what's really shaping her world. And being able to teach that to children, I think, is really important. And being able to do it in a non-political way. Like, I don't want to say, oh, well, you have to think this way. That's not diversity training. Diversity training is putting all the options on the table and allowing people to come to their own conclusions.
Okay, let me take a second. Kimberly Day Hardy, I'm trying to recruit him for our Coachville Black Media Renaissance. So Kimberly, stay tuned. I'll be sending Justin the format of what it is that's getting ready to happen in Coachville. And prayerfully, if he finds time, maybe we can incorporate in a minute. I'm praying that we can. That's Kimberly Day. She's from Brandywine Health.
Hi, Kimberly.
We've been in consultation with her, the CEO. They got people in from all over the state.
And she said it best. She said representation matters. It does. It matters in teachers. It matters in literature. It matters in positions, it matters in housing, it matters in education, it matters in healthcare, it matters everywhere.
And yeah, man, but this is such a blessed evening. Look, I didn't eat all evening too because I was a little nervous. I was like, I was getting ready to have, I need your autograph or something. I said, I'm not going to eat because I want to make sure I'm calm and cool. And it's all, hey, how can the viewers purchase any of your book? Can you give us a website, or you just say go to Amazon and Google your name? How would they go about it?
Listen, I am going to tell you to support Black businesses the best way you can. The best way to order it is to contact me directly. For people who are thinking about writing a book, I'm just going to be honest and tell you, authors do not make books off of having their books on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Our books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but the creators do not make money that way. The creators and the authors of books make money when you buy the books directly from them. So you can contact me, justinbrown331@gmail.com. Or I'm on Facebook. You can find me there. If you're just like, listen, I got Amazon Prime, I want it tomorrow, go ahead and order it on Amazon. But
nah, anybody gonna do that.
Anytime you order something, you only get 10% of that purchase. So if the book costs $20, you get $1 from that, and then they won't cut you a check until you reach a certain amount of money through Amazon.
Right.
That's how they cut it for you. So that's the inner workings of how that works.
Okay, that's good. That's good stuff to know. So put them books in the trunk of your car and start selling and stop.
I have them in my trunk. Yeah,
there
I do
you
have
go.
them in my trunk.
I ain't mad at you. Hey, Iris Holmes, it is good to see Iris. Look, if you haven't caught the beginning of this show, you need to let this put you to sleep tonight, because this is some good stuff. You think Miss Tammy and all them other people are sharp. This is another this is something else that's good as well. That's Iris Holmes checked in. Okay, now I seen that picture. Was that Vivica Fox I seen you with?
That was Vivica A. Fox, yes.
Come on, give us some names.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I gotta go back to it. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead and get that.
She had a movie premiere. We had talked about the book. So we had done some work together. Nothing too crazy. So I don't want to make it sound like something that it wasn't, but we did do some work. And pull it up. That's her right there.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure it out, because it was a nose thing with it there for a while.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It looked like her. Yeah, that is all right now. So you running that and you ran.
You ever heard of Scrub Daddy? I was on Shark Tank. I was trying to pitch it, so I was in the auditions, but I met Scrub Daddy that day. Fonz, I would tell you, I probably met, in my time of doing this work, I've probably met about 400 different celebrities in all genres. I always talk about my most impactful one first before I talk about the ones that people are probably excited about. But I met Maya Angelou, and I think that was probably the most impactful individual that I probably met.
You're that bull. You're special, man.
Yeah. Now I've met people that people probably like I've met Kevin Hart. He's an interesting individual. He really is that short. In real life.
That's my boy there.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's his name?
He be on CNN and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You know what? Oh man, you special. You something else. So
I've met a lot of people. There's James Franco.
Yeah, Franco Harris.
Yeah, Franco Harris, James Franco. I think he's another type of, I met your boy, even though he's tripping right now. Carson Wentz. I've met him before.
Poor thing.
He's tripping hard. That's Elijah Wood. Quincy.
That's cute.
Yeah, he actually, I actually have a really funny story about him. He invited me on the show, the Q show. I believe it's on Fox. And he said, hey, I want you to come on. I want you to talk about all these things. And I said, okay. And then when I got on there, the producers of the show said, all right, you could talk about everything that you're doing, but we do not want you to promote your book. And I was like, well, why? And they're like, cause we don't do promotions on the show, but you can talk about what you're doing. You just can't promote the book. So I said, okay, no problem. I'm trying to find this video real quick. So when the time came, Quincy called me up to do the interview with him. I cannot find this video to save my life.
Take your time.
And
better than a movie up in here.
Right. And he calls me up. I'm doing the interview, and my wife hands me the book while I'm doing the interview. So I want to try to bring this up real quick.
Today is Q appreciation.
So he brings me up to do the broadcast. So I'm talking with him.
As a
My
diversity
wife
trainer,
hands me
a
the
lot
book.
of
You
different
can't see her
individuals have
because she's
issues at
off
their
camera
college
right
or their
now.
place of work, and they'll call me in
So
to do games
when
and
she hands me
activities
the
to
book,
get
I'm like,
people to have
listen, I'm on
more
live
of a
TV.
conversation about things that are going
Might
on
as
in
well
the
go ahead
country.
and do
So
it.
let's put
So
it
that's
to
what
it
I did.
like me and you,
And he
right?
gave
They
me
call
an
you. We'll
opportunity,
come, we'll
and
do
so I
games,
ran with it.
activities, team
So
builders,
it's about to
icebreakers,
come
and
up
get
in
people to
about 10
really just have
seconds.
that inclusive conversation. Nice. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Nice. Just published the first book. It's called
Yep.
Look at You.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, so I talked
Another
about it
diversity book.
on
So
national TV, and I try to tell people, listen, you can't wait to take, no one's gonna give you a shot. You got to take chances, and you just got to go out there and just do it. I was probably never, well, you never know your future, but I never was gonna have that time again.
Yeah,
So I took the time and I just did it. Just
I'm
made
with you. I'm with you on that. Amber Lynn, you must have heard that we have something going on special tonight. It's good to see you. You're coming in a little late, but that's all right. You can catch some more of that stuff. All right, man. Don't forget to purchase his book. You gotta see him, check him out, inbox him, do something. He on of course he on Facebook. He trying to sell books. Are you on
yeah.
Instagram too and all that kind of stuff?
There's your boy AI.
Oh man, he the truth.
When
He's the answer.
yeah, well, I don't know who the answer in Philly is right now, but
No, we don't have none. We ain't got one.
no. I mean, and it's genres. I mean, when you go around and you do stuff, you meet a lot of different people. There's Little Dicky. He's a rap artist. I met Ice-T before. There's Amber Rose, Cody Ashley, Dr. J. I mean, when you go around, Fonz, you just meet people. That's
Yeah,
DMC, Run DMC. I mean, and it's good that you meet people. There's Drake right there in the background. I mean, and it's good because you get to have different experiences. I think you're about to ask me about, I have a podcast almost with diversity awareness program where we bring different celebrities on because I want to be able to have people have those same experiences that I had and be
sure.
able to talk about what I'm passionate to talk about, which is diversity, and being able to bring both of those things together. So we have this thing called Motivation Mondays where
Yeah, yeah.
we've invited celebrity guests. So you can, if you go on diversity awareness program, you just sign up. It's free. It's free for everybody, for the students and the trainees and you. You come in and you could talk to people, So we have a whole bunch of people on, and they come and they talk about their perspective with diversity, and the individuals that are on talk about their perspective, and we just kind of keep it honest, keep it real, keep it vulnerable, keep it brave. And, because of COVID, everybody's more connected now than they ever have been. So
Yeah,
there's no reason why we can't continue to stay connected. So
yeah,
we've
yeah.
had a whole bunch of people on here, and
Hey,
we're booked all the way up till halfway of January. So we'll have one every Monday until January.
okay, that's Celebrity Series, and it's called Motivation Mondays. In case y'all missed that, now they can go where to see this Motivation Monday. Where did they go?
They can go to Diversity Awareness Program on Facebook. So I'll bring that up for them. So if you don't like it on Facebook yet, make sure you go and like it. That's where
Yeah,
you're going to see all up-to-date news on the company organization. But you might be able to see something on there that you like and something that keep you interested, something you read about, watch. But that's where the sessions will be held. So um, we have Melissa Shoshahi coming up. She is a world-renowned comedian, but she's the first Iranian American woman to go on tour as a comic, and she's hilarious.
I see some of her work.
Yeah, she's funny. We had Greg Sipes on the other day. He does voice work for children's cartoons, so like Teen Titans, Ninja Turtles. He's really popular in his field.
Uh,
A week before that, we had Naisha Arrington, and she is a chef. She won two simultaneous competitions at the same time, one on Bravo and one on the Food Network. She was the first African American to win both of those competitions. So she talked to us about that. She talked about being a personal chef for Stevie Wonder for a couple months. So, and it's all over the place. I mean, we had Naya Boris. She was on the Power Rangers. So this really does go all over the place, and there's no reason for us to connect or reason for us to not connect. And we just want to bring people together. You know, a lot of us are still in quarantine, and a lot of us are still, you know, feeling those effects. And if we can lessen them in any way, I think that we should.
Man, this Zoom thing is about the best thing that happened to me. You know,
Yeah.
because I used to do live from the stair steps, and in order to have guests back then, I had to bring them to my house, tell them to take their shoes off, and sit on my stair steps and interview them like that. It was crazy. But this COVID-19 just created a new type of technology where now, man, I can get and sit and talk to you, man, when you're comfortable, and stream it to my people and everything.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Look, Rahm Emanuel said, never let a crisis go to waste.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And God has really blessed us. He's blessed us because we had an opportunity to sit and listen to you. But look, we're getting ready to shut this down, right?
Yeah.
But all my guests, I asked them 2 questions.
Okay.
Or I asked 1 question, and then I allow them to speak to the viewers. My first question is, what part has your faith played in your journey?
I think faith is the entire journey. You got to have faith that each and every time you do this training, that there's going to be something that you're going to say that's going to impact, influence, encourage, and try to bring people together. I was saying at the beginning, had it not been for the way that my parents raised me, to fear the Lord and be able to learn about ministry. I mean, this is another type of ministry. I don't have to be right in your face and say, Jesus, 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 for you to get the love of Jesus. You know, sometimes the only Bible that some people will ever read in their life is your life. So you gotta be able to live your life in a way that gives glory and honor to God. And I think this is my ministry, to be able to bring people together, whether you believe in him or not. We got to bring them all together, but you could feel his love through the interactions and the intentional dialogues and conversations that we have. And I don't have to be in front of people to be like, oh, I love Christ and you should too. I think that there are different ways. You know, I think a lot of times people are just so forceful with it. You know, he didn't tell us to be forceful with it. He said plant the seed. And there's plenty of ways that you can plant seeds. And a lot of times people will ask me those questions, you know, where did you come up with this? Where did you this? I mean, there's not going to be a blacks only and whites only when we get to heaven. So people better get it together now and bring it together. They're going to be quite surprised when they get to those pearly gates. And it's our job to do that. That's what Christ would want us to do, to be in reconciliation with one another, not live in conflict. And, you know, that's not the way it should be. And
And last but not least, I want you to take this moment.
Okay.
Because this show, as much as I want people to know about you, this show is really about the listeners.
Yeah.
Give them something, either inspiration, information, or some education. Just speak from your heart, and then we're going to sign off after that. How about that?
Yeah. Well, if you were to ask me what you were to get out of this, I would tell you that diversity training is not something for the faint of heart. And I think everybody has the ability to do it, but you have to choose to do it. Because when we talk about this training, it's not about knowing all the words. It's not about knowing all the catchphrases, what's PC, what's not PC, what terms are appropriate and all this. It's empathy training. The hardest part of this isn't trying to know all the words, it's trying to teach people to care. That's the hardest part about diversity training, because if it doesn't affect you and it's not a problem for you, it's not a problem until it lands on your front doorstep. So we have to care about each other. No matter how hard it is, no matter what someone looks like, no matter what they did to you, we have to bring back caring about one another. We got to stop looking so inwardly and saying, hey, it's all about me right now. And sometimes we can be selfish, but a lot of times we really have to look outwardly and say, what are we doing for people in the community? What are we doing for people in education? What are we doing for students? What are we doing to make sure that things are equitable for everybody? You have to be able to look and see what privileges you can give up, or what privileges that you can extend. All right. Because some people are like, well, I'm not giving up my privileges. Okay. Well, what privileges do you have to open the door for somebody behind you, or to build a door so that other people can walk through? All right. Because that's what's most important. Is, again, as I said before, looking around the table and seeing who's not there and bringing them to the table so that they're there with you. I think that everybody has the ability to do something special. If you don't know what it is yet, that means you just haven't found it yet. Talk about doing your passions. When you work within your gift, All right. A lot of people are like, well, I can't do this because I don't have a degree, or if I can't do this because I don't have any money. When you work in your gift, you don't have to worry about having a seat at the table. The entire room will shift around where you are to make sure that your gift is being put on the table. So there are a lot of people that may not be working in their gift. Stop wasting time. Go out there and work in your gift. There are things that people do that I would love to be able to do. It's not my gift. You have to work within what God is giving you to do. And you got to do it today. You can't wait till tomorrow. So for those who are out there who were like, oh, I have this business idea, go talk to somebody. For somebody who's like, I want to start this business, go get an LLC, figure out how to do it. I didn't wait for someone to teach me how to be an author. I just started writing. I didn't wait for someone to say, oh, go start a business. Go start a business. I didn't wait for somebody to say, well, go figure out how you can get these celebrities on your show. Call their agents. I'm not an agent. I'm not in the entertainment industry, but you figure out how the entertainment industry works. Go out there and do what you want to do. And don't wait for it. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Don't wait for somebody to give you the confidence. Don't wait for somebody to give you the ability. Go out there, hone your skills, and go make your dreams come true. It's just that simple.
Man, you said a mouthful. I'm telling you. Look, I'll be selling this video after this show. No, I'm only kidding. But look, everybody that's listening on here, now y'all got some good stuff. Y'all been watching. You don't have to like it. You don't have to hit the like button. But I do want you to hit the share button. That's what's most important for Fonzarelli. I don't need no likes. I'm good. But I need to share because everybody that's been on this show has been giving nuggets of wisdom, their heart, their passion. They've been giving it freely to the community around us. We perish for a lack of knowledge. I mean, we are communicating to you out of their giftedness. You need, I'm not saying pick up everything, but there's some stuff that you can grab hold to and it can help make your life better. I'm in total agreement with that. Wait a minute. K.L. Wilson said, don't wait for somebody to give you the confidence. That's so true. I know that because I purchased an athletic footwear store and I ain't had no credit or nothing. But God provided. Yeah, I said I can do it. He said, you certainly can. And here, bam. But anyway, that is really, really it for this evening. Man, I can keep him on here a long time. But let me tell you, Justin, and I know you're busy, but I'm getting ready to send you an email and you're going to read this thing because it got your language all up in there. I heard some of the stuff you were saying. Boom, bada, bing. Now, I didn't create this program, this initiative, because I'm a little bit gully and I don't talk like that. But my heart's there. And look, I'm going to send this to you. Hey, look, for all of y'all that tuned in tonight, I want to thank all my viewers, man. You know what? You have blessed my life because you usually tune in and you don't shut me off and you don't lay me out. So I appreciate your faithfulness, your loyalty. Barbara Lowe, I forgot to say hi to you, but you are seen. If you missed the show, you know to catch it. It'll be reran in a couple of minutes. I want to thank you, Justin. It's been a minute.
It has been. But I'm glad we were able to touch base.
But when I got you on here, it was the right time to have you on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a diva. Listen, I'm very, if there's anything I want somebody to get off is that I'm definitely approachable. So if there was something that you said, or if your organization is looking to do diversity training, or just send me a text, jump in my inbox, send me an email. I'm not a diva. I'm relatable. I live in your neighborhood. I live in Chester County with y'all. I may fly off to California to do some training, but I always come back. These are where my roots are.
That's what I'm talking about. Kim Greer Brown and Pastor Anthony Brown, boy, y'all did a crack job with this one. But then again, your whole family is like special, you know what I mean? So, but I want to thank y'all for giving birth to this guy, man, because he's impacting other people, and that's what it's about. That's where I'm at, man. He's like, I'm good, man. It's about impacting those of us that surround us. Okay. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all caught the announcements, all kind of good stuff. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to y'all in advance, thanking Justin Brown. And I want y'all to remember that Coatesville is rising and Black Lives Matter. Peace out. Justin, thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.